Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the HPL podcast. It's a solo episode this week, and I wanted to talk about 21 lessons that I have learned after almost 25 years of training, and really what I've learned about staying strong, healthy, and in control, predominantly when life gets really busy as well. So it's something that everyone can sort of listen along to and follow. So, as I say, I've been training for nearly 25 years, and in that time, I've learned a lot about what actually does matter when it comes to looking, feeling, and performing at your best. So, if you're juggling business, family, and life, as I say, this one is a great one for you. So, let's jump straight in. Here are the top 21 lessons I've learned along the way. Number one, show up whether you feel like it or not. The whole word motivation is extremely unreliable. And what you often, I'm sure, will have found is that some of your best sessions actually happen when you least feel like it. Number two, you do not need to train 5, 6 days a week. 3 solid focus sessions consistently will change your body and your mindset more than you can possibly think. I speak from experience with all these things I talk about, and certainly as I've got older, I've had to adapt. I need much more time now for rest and recovery. I need to train smarter. And quite honestly, my body composition has not changed from going from 4 to 5 times a week down to 3 strength sessions a week. Number three, strength training benefits the mind as much as the body. Again, it builds resilience, it builds confidence, and it builds mental clarity, all things of which you can apply to all areas of your life. So there's many benefits when it comes to strength training. Number four, get your blood work done. Know your numbers. You can't manage what you don't measure. Anyone that I work with, coach, give advice to that come to me, I always say that because if it's one thing that pisses me off, it's when people take shit that they don't know why they're taking because someone told them to do that, whether it's an influencer, something they read, somebody they look up to. And so you really need to know what you're taking, why you're taking it, and of course, not waste your money or effort if you're not deficient in that thing either. That being said, there are, of course, a few supplements I would say that are backed by science, a lot of scientific studies and evidence that show we could all benefit from creatine, a multivitamin, omega-3, vitamin D, and magnesium as well. Now, again, whilst those things can be good, it's more a case of supplements have become more necessary because people aren't consuming the more natural, whole foods, single ingredients foods, and they're leaning more towards processed food, which therefore is why they're lacking or you're lacking in those areas. And so that's more the reason, you don't necessarily need to take omega-3s or multivitamins if you're getting enough of them through your natural diet, which is the ideal case, but in most situations, unfortunately, these days, isn't. And so, as I say, get your bloods done so that you actually know what you are deficient in, so that you can take the right things that are going to actually benefit you. Number five, systems beat motivation. You need habits, systems, and routines. I can promise you that once you start to put those small daily actions in place and build a from the initial first habit, put it into a system, it then becomes your routine and it doesn't feel like such a chore. And when I say that, you also need to pick things that are going to be something you can see yourself doing for a long time. It's that adherence and sustainability. Number six, consistency over intensity. It's far better to be 80% consistent for a year than perfect for 6 weeks. Those people that have got holiday coming up in 4 weeks' time and go all in, training 5, 6, 7 times a week, trying to get in shape really quickly for their holiday, and then you get that bounce back. The other thing I would say, leading on to number seven, is stop chasing the shortcuts. They don't exist. It's really all about the basics done well for years, which is going to beat the latest fancy trend every single time. The basics are the 95%. So the very small marginal gains, when you've done all those basics first, that only then is it worth trying to look at introducing them. Number eight, prioritize protein because, as I always say, it's the foundation of recovery, muscle growth, and long-term health. Number nine, eat single ingredient whole foods 80% of the time. And the rest of the time, enjoy life. Just don't let the word balance become an excuse for laziness. Number 10, track your progress. If you're not measuring it, you're guessing. So I would recommend with your strength, sleep, nutrition, and mindset that you introduce some form of tracking to start with. And the reason for that is we're more likely to stick to something when we can see there's progress. Now, I've done a podcast before with Kyle talking about tracking and the pros and cons, and it's worth going back to that one and listening to that because, as I just said, I would track to start with. Now, I don't now track calories. Um, Sometimes I'll track my sleep, but I go through fits and starts, and the reason for that is because you don't want to become obsessed. Number 11, be patient. Most people quit just before a breakthrough. So be patient, the results will come, and you have to trust in the process. An example when it comes to training for me was my calves were always lagging behind, and I consistently kept training them at the beginning of my workout 3, 4 times a week, nothing for years. And then all of a sudden, it was like overnight after about, I'd say, 10 years of training. And I wouldn't really say it would normally take that long. Um, they just suddenly came into their own and I caught up, I suppose, with the other body parts that were far ahead. But I would say you've got to give something, whatever it is you're applying, whether it obviously is in your health, work, relationships, anything, you've got to give it time. So you have to be patient. Number 12, it takes time to get in shape, but once you're there, it's surprisingly easy to maintain. The hard part is building the momentum. This I have found to be true to every single area of my life. And focusing obviously today on the health side of things. Quite honestly, I can get away now. I've been doing it for, as I say, obviously nearly 25 plus years, training a couple of times a week, and I would not really change that much, certainly not physically. Um, yeah, okay, my energy, health, etc., might be slightly lacking, but in terms of um, body composition and overall health, but to get there, it took years of effort and hard graft to get to that point. So I can promise you, in every area, that's the same with with your eating. That's the train with the same, sorry, with your sleep, and obviously also your exercise, as I just discussed. So trust in the process. Sleep is the ultimate performance answer for number 13. So if you want to recover faster, think sharper, and train harder, start by going to bed that little bit earlier. We get our best deep sleep in the earlier hours before midnight. Number 14, doing hard things makes life easier because training teaches you how to face discomfort and you can take those skills and they transfer everywhere. So next time you're in the gym or next time you're out doing some form of cardio, push that extra rep, push that extra minute running. Number 15, progressive overload is essential. If you're not challenging your body, it has no reason to change. Number 16, walk and move more. The single best form of exercise, without question, is walking. Daily movement keeps you, the body, and mind in a good balance. Number 17, don't let a bad day turn into a bad week. If you miss a session or made some poor food choices, it's fine. Shit happens. Move on. Just don't stay there. And make sure that you don't let a bad day become a bad week. The next day is a new day. Stick to the promises that you made to yourself. Number 18, train smart. Mobility, stretching, and recovery. As I found, the older you get, the more this matters. There is no skipping it. as you get older. And this ultimately is a lifelong journey. You want to be healthy, you want to be pain-free in later life. And so therefore you must make sure you prioritize and make time for the recovery side of things. Number 19, find a community. Training alone works, but training with people who push you, that is where the magic happens. Even if it's just for a couple of your training sessions a week. So it could be that you train on in the gym on your own and you do maybe one class a week. It's really good for your mental health. And as I say, obviously, of course, for somebody in your corner to push you, a friend, family member, etc. Number 20, audit your environment. Your habits will match the people and places you spend time with, so choose wisely. Number 21, one of the most important, if not the most important, never think twice about investing in yourself. Whether it's coaching, quality food, or better sleep, remember it is an investment, not a cost. Without your health, you have nothing. And so you must prioritize it over everything. If even one of these hits home, then I'm really glad it helped. And drop me a DM, drop me a message if which one of these resonated with you most, or if you've got any questions, and I would love to help. Until next time, take care.